So here's a case study, which I think is pretty interesting, about how a company, a big company, used the internet to their advantage. So they wanted to engage consumers with a question of which love is bigger, the love of friends or the love of the Whopper. And what they did was they developed an application called the Whopper Sacrifice. This was based on an insight that people are getting kind of like overwhelmed with the number of friends and being asked to friend. And at LinkedIn, I'm a member of LinkedIn, and it's amazing how many people are constantly sending me invitations. And I feel bad when I say no because, you know, that's rude. So what do we do with that? Well, their insight was they would offer a coupon for a Burger King Whopper when people deleted 10 friends on Facebook. And it worked. People thought it was great. They thought it was funny, entertaining, and they got a free Whopper. So what did they do? They rewarded for interacting. They kept it entertaining and light, and they made it very relevant to what was going on with consumers' mind. This is a great example of how you use the internet with a traditional promotion, but in a way that actually is meaningful to people who are spending their time on the web. Another example, Barack Obama. This man redefined how to do a campaign. He wanted to engage and empower young voters, and he did. How did he do it? He extended across 16 social media sites, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, YouTube, and he friended voters. But what he did was not just friended them, he actually interacted with them. He had a dialogue. He got them engaged, and then they created content for him. What's better than that? He created disciples, and these disciples went out and spread the word. And everybody knows in marketing that the strongest way to get someone into your brand franchise is through word of mouth, through a personal endorsement of somebody they trust. And that's what he created by using the web. Amazingly powerful. I guess you could say it worked. He's president. So what do you do with all this? Well, as marketers, we want to measure it, right? We want to say, is it working? Especially for tag awards, you want to have some sort of, well, it did this, it had this uplift, it did that. Okay, how do you do that in this new world where it's changing so rapidly? Well, I don't have the answer. What I can tell you is these are all the things you can look at, but not all of them are created equally, obviously. The key ones that we tend to look at the Coca-Cola company is post-impression activity. Once they saw it, what did they do? Did they stay on the site? Did they go to the site? Did they click on the reward? What did they do? Video completion rate, how many of them stayed through the whole site, the video on the site, for example? Interaction rates, the buzz, how much of this is picked up through other things? You saw on the video, he saw something and then talked about it to his friends. What buzz is being created? And then how many are your video views? These are some of the things we look at, but what's really important is we actually tailor this to the campaign. And it goes back to basic marketing 101. What are you trying to do? And then figure out what it is you did. So tailor it, look at all the different things, but what we do know is just a visit to a site does not equal success. Absolutely not. Because you saw they're multitasking, so just because somebody touches your site doesn't mean they're actually paying attention to it. You have to actually engage them and then see what happens. So, why is it important to measure? It's not just for tag awards. It's also because it helps us to get better. And that's really the end game of marketing, isn't it? It's about understanding where our consumers are spending their time. It's about understanding what they like, what's their preference. It's about what they're saying about our brands. Remember what I said? Not only do you have to put content out there, you have to listen to what people are saying about it. And importantly, it lets us look at what are the new patterns that are emerging. And all of this gives us a virtual feedback loop into becoming better marketers in Web 2.5. So that's the whirlwind tour of the web. Thank you. Sure. I'll do my best. I guess I'm supposed to have Q&A, and if there's anything really tough, I'm going to take a pass. So, but if you want to talk about TV, I can talk at length about TV. Any questions? Oh, this is good.
Especially
yes.
Back of the room.
Can you talk a little bit about the differentiation between B2C and B2B and where the two are in this continuum? Because a
Yeah.
lot of this I see as B2C.
Yeah, it is very B2C because that's what I do for a living. But I can talk a little bit about B2B. I think that I think that in the B2B world, you're going to see the same sort of activities happening, the same sort of interactions with the web. You just have a little bit more discipline around the way it's being used. So the search, this facility of using the web, the technologies that are accessible, the ability to search and reapply. So find out something, how does it apply to my own business, is going to be much more relevant in a B2B world versus in a B2C world, which is about entertain me, make me happy. Give me something fun to talk about. So I think you're going to have pretty well the same basic ways and same basic rules that are associated. Listen, be out there, be social. It's just in a much more disciplined way, much more streamlined. Other questions? I'm getting off so easy. Oh.
Hey, Penny, thank you. Can you talk about budgets and tying this back to executives that only look at sales and revenue and the metrics that you use to influence getting more budget to do social media like this?
Yeah, this is a good one because I've been on both sides of the fence, both asking for the budget and saying no. And in fact, I can give you a live case study. One of the brands that I work on is Nestea. And what we ended up doing this year is taking 50% of our media budget and putting it all on internet-based marketing, 50%. And part of that was driven by the fact that the budget was small. And so the way we tend to look at it at Coke is when you have a small budget and you're looking to see how do I make it punch above its weight, you go to non-traditional media and see how it works. So that's one way of the approach. Small is beautiful on the web because you spend big money, and beware of the grand gesture. Sometimes turns people off. The second thing that we did was we started working very closely with the agency on that metrics page, and we're actually trying to do real-time evaluation. So I'm getting weekly updates on who's on the site, how long are they watching the videos, what's the interaction, where are they going to next, and using that as the case to get more money. So we're spending as we go and we're spending as we learn. And I can't stress enough about how you have to hold your agency's feet to the fire to give you that kind of information, give it to you in a timely manner, and give you the so what so that you can actually move. You know, try, experiment fast and fail fast and then move on. So that's how we're approaching it at the Coca-Cola Company. It's a bit of uncharted territory for us, quite frankly, because we're used to, you know, GRPs, TRPs, and all the rest of it. And we have all these very sophisticated marketing mix modeling. Doesn't apply here. So it's small budgets. Why not take the risk and then learn quickly? Okay. No more? Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you all for coming today. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the finalists, everybody who participated. Really appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next year at the 10th Annual TAMY Awards. Thank you.